N0MLP, AE0OC, is there any way you or somebody could take over NetLogger, because it is just keeps crashing on me every time I try to type in a call sign?
Yeah, I can try to keep up and keep everything logged for you.
All right. 1 through 9 is the password.
Okay, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes, sir. That'd be it.
All right, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to do it because I've never done it before, but I'll see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, if you click on Start Logging, it'll bring it up so you can type in the password and then let you take control of it.
All right, I'll work on that while you're getting the announcements read.
Copy that. Appreciate it. With that, good evening and welcome to the Ozark Amateur Radio Society's Tuesday Night Net. This net meets regularly on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. local time on this frequency of 146.970 with a tone of 162.2 hertz. My name is Marvin, call sign November 0, Mike Lima Papa, and I will be acting as net control tonight for the net. I'll be using, or Wes will be using, NetLogger for check-ins on this net, and anyone who wishes to can check in early by monitoring the OARS net there. More to follow. The OARS net is not an emergency net. However, if anyone at any time has emergency traffic, please call break. With that said, is there anyone with emergency traffic? Please call now. Okay, hearing none, I'll now move on to the announcements of interest to amateur radio. The Ozarks Amateur Radio Society meets on the second Saturday of the month at the Happy House Restaurant in Monette, Missouri. The meeting is at 7 p.m., but everyone is welcome to come early at 6 to eat and enjoy some good conversation. Individuals pay for their own meals, but you do not have to eat to attend. You also do not have to be a ham to attend. Everyone is welcome, including family members and those interested in amateur radio. The next OARS meeting at the Happy House will be March 11th. More to follow. The Ozarks Amateur Radio Society now has 3 nets. We've scheduled a D-Star net on Monday nights at 8 p.m., and those of you with D-Star capabilities are most welcome to come check in and give the D-Star repeater a workout. The frequency is 444.150 with a positive offset. And if you need help programming in the repeater, Sean, KE0MAD, has a couple of great videos on YouTube that make it pretty easy. The OARS Club will also be hosting a Simplex net the first Saturday of every month. The frequency will be 146.460, and the time is 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome to join and check in, and this should be quite a lot of fun. And then, of course, there's this net every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on 146.970 with a frequency of 162.2 PLL. More to follow. The OARS Club Hamfest Committee is hard at work planning for this year's upcoming Hamfest. The Hamfest will be held at the Mark in Mount Vernon, Missouri on Saturday, March 25th. The doors will open to the public at 8 a.m. and will run until 1 p.m. Lots of prizes are in the raffle, and we already have great vendors lined up, and testing for licenses will be available as well. For more details, you can find the Hamfest flyer at our website at www.w0oar.com. More to follow. For the month of February, the OARS Ham and Eggs Breakfast is being held at the Family Restaurant in Aurora, Missouri, every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Be sure to bring your appetite and a handful of stories to tell, or at the very least, an empty ear or two. In March, the Ham and Eggs Breakfast will be in Monette at the Angus Branch Restaurant. More to follow. This net is being live streamed on the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel. So if you want to see how you sound on air, or if you missed part of the net, you can go to 59radio.com for details and a link to the channel. Are there any other announcements of interest to amateur radio? Please call now.
Kilo Alpha Zero Romeo Mike.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
For everybody Saturday morning that's going to go to breakfast, I need a head count. Kind of give these guys an up-to-date ones. And Lawrence is sending out a reminder Friday afternoon for the breakfast for the ones that get it. Sean and I was lonely there this last Saturday. Him and I was the only one there. So, like I said, if you can get us head count the Saturday before, we had 15 there, and then Sean and I last Saturday. So we need some more there. It's the last one, like Marvin says, here in Aurora. Then we'll be going to Monette. So let me know, or let somebody know. They can get a hold of me then. KA0M.
AE0OC.
Go right ahead, Wes.
All right, where do I click at to get to this start logging box I need to check?
Right at the top, it's next to start monitoring or stop, whichever, you know. That's what I was clicking to get there, and it was letting me take it over, but then when I try to type in a call sign, it would just crash.
Okay. Well, let me see what I got here. All right, I got it figured out now.
Roger, roger. Any other announcements? Let's give it a try here while we get set up. Okay, no announcements. I'll go ahead and start taking what I can see here on NetLogger. So we'll just get started. KA0SPM, Steve, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, Marvin, I am doing really good. Good to hear you as net control this evening. Got a question for you. Are you running that NetLogger on a 32-bit Windows system?
No, I'm running 64-bit, and it's the first time I've ever had trouble with it.
Okay, well, sometimes if you had 32, it doesn't work very well, but I don't know what else it could be. So with that, pretty nice day today. It seems like we were the construction zone central here at the house. They were working on directional boring a bunch of fiber, which I had to listen to a slurry pump for the day. But, and the neighbor's getting a roof put on, so those guys like to listen to music loud. So it was adventuresome, but I survived it. So I guess that's all I got for now. Back to you, Marvin. KA0SPM.
Yeah, Steve, that construction's always fun to hear when it's right by you, for sure. I know that machine they used to pull that cable through is pretty loud. So, but anyway, Steve, it's good to hear from you, man. I appreciate you checking in. And we'll go ahead and say 73's with you and move down to KE0MAD. Sean, how's it going?
Hello, Marvin. Everybody on the net. Yeah, thanks for doing the net, Marvin. I didn't know who was doing it this time. I opened up that NetLogger and I got confused. It all disappeared. I went, uh-oh, something's happening. Anyway, I guess next Saturday is going to be the Simplex net, so that'll be interesting. We're gonna try a new addition to it. Whenever someone checks in, we're gonna give a call out to other stations to give basically a rapid fire of signal reports and their location. So basically, if say you call in, I'm going to say, does anybody else copy N0MLP? And we need to keep it as short as possible, where people give a signal report, city, and their call sign, or any other combination thereof. So we're going to give it a try and just see what kind of see what that adds to the net. It was an idea that somebody come up with, or I think Jimmy is the one to come up with it. It sounds like a good idea, so I'd say we go ahead and try it. Anyway, nothing much. I did a 5-park activation today. That was interesting. Don't know that I ever want to do that again. Anyway, back to net control, K0M80.
Roger that, Sean. Yeah, I tried to listen to you there on 14336, I think it was, but I couldn't hear you. I could tell you were there, but I could hear some other ones calling back at you, and I spotted you on BST. And then I noticed somebody else did not long after I did. I think it was the Europe station. So it sounds like you was doing it to it anyway. So. And I like that idea about the signal reports too. I think that'll give us a good kind of a coverage idea of where we lie on simplex. So, all right, Sean, I appreciate it, man. Good information for sure. And had fun the other day too, by the way. That was a blast. So we'll say 73s to you, Sean, and we'll move on down to Wes, AE0OC. How you doing, man?
Well, hello, Marvin. Thanks for running the net tonight. Hello to everybody else out there. Well, I'm doing pretty good. It was sure a nice day today. I didn't get out a whole lot, but when I was outside, it was awfully nice. Been working on my portable Go box for doing POTA activations, and about ready to start testing that thing out. I've also been working on my antenna that I'm going to be using for it, an in-fed half-wave. And I've also got a super antenna that I'll be using too. So, trying to get things all worked out before April and make sure everything's going to work okay. Did manage to get Sean at 2 of the parks. Had to resort to using 2 meters for one of them because it just wasn't going to do it on HF. But it was fun. I'm glad he got to go out and do that. And since I was on doing POTA anyway, I went ahead and checked out a few of the other activations around and used the club's call sign. And got a few hundred contacts in the book for that, so had a pretty good day.
Roger. Yeah, I heard some stations out there today, but I was in the middle of working on some other stuff, so I didn't get a chance to call out to anybody today, but I think yesterday or maybe it was the night before, I can't remember, I got Italy, so that's a long-distance contact I've never got before. So that was pretty cool, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. Only other thing I've really been working on is that I designed up and 3D printed some bushings for Bob for his mast tripod. Portable, and they worked out so well. I think I'm probably going to try and buy the same setup and just print me some too, because they work pretty good. So, but anyway, other than that, not a lot. Just cleaning up outside, trying to get some stuff done outdoors too, while the weather's nice. And I guess we got some rain coming in, maybe some storms tonight. So everybody might want to be aware of that. So, but Wes, good hearing you in there, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking over NetLock for me. I don't know what was going on, so I'll have to figure that out. But we'll say 73s to you, and we'll move down to David, KE6GAE, out there in Rogersville land. How you doing tonight?
Oh, thank you, Marvin. This is KE6GAE. Thanks for running the net tonight. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Trying to figure this port forwarding out on the VPN. And had a long day at work last couple of days, so I'm just kind of exhausted. Other than that, don't have a whole lot for the net. Once again, thanks for running the net, Marvin. And we'll pass it back to net control. K86GAE, back to net control.
Yeah, I can appreciate being exhausted, man. I'll let you in on a little something here. Earlier today, I got done with some work outside, and I come in here and was sitting at the computer. And I guess I dozed off because I don't know if you know that little alarm that happens when you hold down a key for too long. I woke up to that thing dinging and going off. kind of scared me there. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, always something to do. Anyhow. Great hearing you in there tonight, and I appreciate you checking in there. We'll say 73. And we'll move on to K0SQS. Harold, how are you doing?
N0MLP and the rest of the net, K0SQS. Doing fine, Marvin. Thanks for running the net tonight. Message for K0RM. Count me in for breakfast Saturday morning. I'll be number one on somebody's list. Anyway, took off this afternoon, played golf. The weather forecast was supposedly it was going to get up around 65 to 70. They did say the wind was going to be howling a little bit, but I don't think it ever got out of the 50s today. It was pretty chilly out playing golf. Anyway, the exercise and the fresh air did me good, except I'm awfully sleepy now. So, anyway, back to you. Like I say, appreciate you running the net. N0MLP, K0SQS.
Yeah, I can imagine that wind made for quite an interesting game there, but I think we got to about 61 here, but pretty windy most of the day, so it didn't ever warm up like they said. The wind was a little bit chilly, so it made it feel a little cooler than it was. So, all right, though, good to hear from you, and glad you got to get out today. Appreciate you being in there, and we'll say 73, and we will move down to W0ZAC. Zach in Mount Vernon, how you doing?
Good evening, Marvin. Doing good down here. Not much to report from Lockwood. You can tell where I spend my time. Not much to report from Mount Vernon. Just a typical Tuesday night here. I think one kid already fell asleep, and the other one's working on some math homework. So I'm sure I'll get roped into that here soon. Funny story about falling asleep on the keyboard. I used to work with a guy named Dale, and our computer system doesn't have that alarm. So he fell asleep on a letter key in what we call a remark line. And so this remark line will just keep recording remarks until you take your finger off that key. So he woke up and didn't know what was going on, backed out of where he was at, went ahead and printed the order to an old dot matrix printer. And that thing printed 13 pages, Marvin, and we could not stop laughing. It just kept going and kept going and kept going. And we gave Dale a hard time about that for years after. Anyway, that's all I've got. 7-3, and thanks for running the net. W0ZAC.
I appreciate that story. So he printed a banner then. Did y'all hang that up?
I don't think we did, but we probably should have.
That's a good one. Well, thanks, Zach, for being in there. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of the evening. We'll say 73s to you, and we'll move to KB0RHA. Richard, how you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. The net logger was kind of doing something screwy with me too. I'm showing it's got me listed on there twice, but anyhow, it kind of fell back into place. Anyway, that's not much for the net. I was out splitting a little bit of firewood this afternoon, and it would have been real nice if that wind would have quit. I know how Harold felt. Anyway, 7-3s, thanks for running the net. KB0RHA.
Well, thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I like splitting wood for a little bit until my arms start feeling like noodles, but I like the sound it makes whenever you get a good hit on it. Appreciate you being in there. We'll say 73's with you, and it looks like we have KF6OZ. Mel, how you doing?
Good evening, Marvin. This is Mel, KF6OZ in Mount Vernon. Everything is good here. We're looking forward to seeing some of that rain come that's were promised to us in the next 36 hours. And I hope everything is going well for you. Enjoy the last couple of days where we've had some more temperate days and where we could enjoy it. Back to you. N0MLP, this is KF6OZ, over.
All right, Mel, good to hear you in there. I appreciate you checking in. Yeah, I hope we're warming up for the good now. But appreciate you being in there, Mel. Good to hear from you. We'll say 73s, and that puts us at the bottom of the listed net logger. So I will now call for regular check-ins. If you would, please call with your call sign first phonetically, and then the regular way, or you can flip that around if you like, along with your name and location. So with that, are there any short time, low power, or mobile check-ins? Please call now.
Kilo 0, Romeo Whiskey Delta, K0 RWD. Ron in Cassville, no traffic.
Greenfield. Whiskey Echo 0 Victor, WE0V, Elaine in Northeast Joplin, and I got no traffic.
All right, we'll hang out there for just a second. I got 3 of you. I do believe there was a double in there, so I'll have to get whoever that was on the next round. But I got K0RWD, and, well, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I had limbs down everywhere, so I was working those, and the wind was so bad it was just completely irritating, but I made it through it, I guess, so that's all I can say. K0RWD.
Well, that's no fun, Ron. Yeah, we had to cut down a couple of trees here the other day, and so we've been picking up a lot of brush and sticks from the results of that, so I know how you feel. Appreciate you being in there, Ron, and we'll say 73's with you. And we'll move on to WE0V, Elaine in Joplin. How are you doing? Good to hear you.
Doing fine, feeling a little on the tired side. I guess I just didn't sleep well last night, but other than that, I didn't do much or nothing today. Just played around with a little bit of frequencies on one of those Baofeng radios. But other than that, I didn't do much, so I'll send it back to net control. This WE0V saying 73's.
Well, it was a good day for that, too. Just relaxing. So I understand that. But good to hear you in there, Elaine. I appreciate you checking in. And we'll say 73's to you. I hope you have a good rest of the evening and a good rest of the week, too. And with that, we'll move on down to KF0HHH. Kathy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I ran away from the house so I could call in.
Roger that. Yeah, you could have checked in over here. It's just a little weird when I'm running the net.
I wanted to test out the radio a little bit, see how it was running today. So that was that.
Nothing wrong with that. That's one of the points of these nets is test our equipment. So that was a good deal. Well, got anything else for us?
I could just point out some more trees that you need to cut down, but other than that, I guess I'll do a 73.
Okay, well, we'll move on, and that puts us at the end of the list. Kathy, we'll say 73s. And I guess now we'll just call out for regular check-ins. If there's anyone that wants to check into the OARS net, please give us a call.
This is KE5QMJ, Ona in Mount Vernon.
WA6 Alpha Lima Bravo, Matt in Mount Vernon.
Kilo Echo 0, November Hotel Lima, KE0 NHL, Heather and Clever.
All right, picked up 3 more there. We got KE5QMJ. Oh, now how are you doing tonight?
Doing fine tonight. We're just glad we got back in time to be on the net. So we just walked in and decided we'd try. We thought you'd be done already, but here we are. So I'm glad you're running the net, Marvin. Thank you. It's KE5QMJ.
All right, well, I appreciate that. And it's good to hear you in there. I'm glad you jumped in. Yeah, we had a little bit of trouble. It was a net logger there at the beginning, so and that was a minute or 2 late. So, but we're still going, still getting some more check-ins. So we'll say 73 Siona. Good to hear you in there, and appreciate you checking in as always. And we'll move on down to the next one in the list. WA6ALB. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, thanks. Hope everyone else is doing the same. Doing a little honeydews around the house today, and I think tomorrow we're just going to stay inside and watch the storm and drink coffee. That sounds like a good plan to me. Oh, this retirement life, man, is horrible. WA6ALB.
You know, I've heard it said that it seemed like you work more once you retire.
Fortunately, she's not a real slave driver, so to speak, so I can't complain.
Roger that. Well, it's good to hear you in there, Matt. I appreciate you checking in. And we'll say 73 is with you and move on down to KE0 NHL. Heather, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just enjoying the day off. I've got today and tomorrow, and then I go back Thursday night. But just kind of enjoying the day and getting stuff done that can't get done during the rest of the week. So looking forward to getting some stuff tried out on some of the digital modes on 10 and kind of seeing what I can get. But I did end up getting Czech Republic earlier in the day, and 10 has been kind of in and out today, but hoping it'll pick back up eventually. KE0 NHL.
Roger that. Yeah, it was pretty good today. I was hearing stations in there pretty strong into over into Europe, and then there was some South America stations coming in there too for a little bit. But I ended up having some other stuff I had to do, so I had to walk out and couldn't listen anymore. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I think we're doing pretty good, and it's probably just going to go up from here.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. I know when I first picked up this radio, I was getting stuff all over the place for DX, and then it seemed like since last week it's just dropped off into the noise floor with the signals fading in and out. But almost got Japan the other night, but as soon as I came back to him, he was completely gone. Croatia was the same way. Today was not able to grab him at all. He came in clear on this side, but was not able to actually grab him. So that is the way it is.
Yep, chalk it up to propagation. And 10 meters is sometimes pretty bad at that, fading in and out quite a bit. So I don't know, I guess it's a little more particular. But Heather, it's good to hear from you tonight, and I'm glad to hear you in there all the time checking in. I appreciate it. And we'll say 73 is with you, and we're at the bottom of the list once again. So if there's anyone that would like to check into the OARS net, please call now.
KF0HOD, Bob and Boaz.
Well, that last station, there was one way down in the noise there. Couldn't quite pull you out. Maybe you can move location if you're on an HT or something, or figure something out and get a little stronger in there.
Kilo Bravo 0 Bravo Oscar Papa Jerry in Verona.
All right, got you in there that time. Grab two more of you. KF0HOD, Bob and Boaz. How are you doing tonight?
Well, doing well, thank you, and thanks for asking, and thank you for running the net tonight. I always get, or have recently get confused between the Monday and Tuesday night times and nets and modes, but got it figured out tonight. Glad to hear everybody out there. Had a pretty fair day today. Weather cooperated and was decent enough. For me, at least, I didn't really notice all the wind that everybody else has. Had a chance to do an eyeball QSO with Sean and attempt to do some parks on the air, but just antennas weren't quite working out. I think we were just too close. Anyway, good to hear everybody, and hopefully I'll get a chance to meet up for the breakfast. I'll let somebody know as we get closer to Saturday, but I'm not one to pass up meeting somebody for breakfast. So back to you. This is KF0HOD in Boaz.
Roger that, Bob. Yeah, we usually have quite a bit of fun on those breakfasts. Good conversations for sure. And yeah, that long path wasn't all that great today. Didn't seem like so. Well, you win some, you lose some. But good to hear you in there. Appreciate you checking in, and yeah, hopefully get to meet up with you sometime. It'd be nice to meet you. Well, we'll say 73s to you, and hope you have a good evening and the rest of the week. And we'll move on down to KB0 Bravo Oscar Papa, Gary in Verona. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm planning on being at the breakfast this Saturday if I can. I was at Walmart the other day and had my work cap on, and an old gentleman in one of those electric carts said hello to me and said he used to be with a member of OARS many years ago. And stupidly, I forgot to ask him his name, but he said his call letters were N0KC. Although he's not doing much with it anymore, I think he let it just go out. But anyway, maybe somebody listening might remember him. Other than that, I've got nothing to report.
Roger that. I do not, or I am not familiar with that call sign, but maybe somebody out there who is can jump on in there and say something about it.
Well, that would be interesting. Anyway, nothing else to report. KB0VOT standing clear.
All right, Gary. Appreciate you checking in, and good to hear you in there. We'll say 73s with you. And it puts us at the bottom of the list once again, so I'll call out there. If there's anybody who'd like to check into the OARS net, please call now.
Kilo Echo 0 Uniform Papa Yankee. That's KE0UPY Christopher in Mount Vernon.
WB0 Oscar Queen Victor Jim in Marionville.
All right, picked up two more. And KE0UPY Christopher, it sure is good to hear from you, man. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I had to step away to deal with some time with the family. I have got my big radio repaired back to its former glory, and interestingly enough, I found out from Facebook actually that today is my 4-year anniversary of officially getting my call sign.
Well, happy 4-year anniversary. That's pretty cool. And I know all about that dealing with family stuff, man. I've been there. So, but yeah, man, I'm glad to hear you. What kind of radio did you have fixed?
I've got a Kenwood TS440 SAT. When I went on family vacation, I had actually put it up because I had somebody watching the dogs. And when I went to put it up, I had dropped it and broke the faceplate and a couple of the knobs and buttons. I have since then ordered a replacement faceplate and replaced the knobs and buttons, and now it looks like it's back in a clean, proper operating order, which I'm very happy about.
Roger that, for sure. That's a very nice radio. So glad you was able to get that straightened out. You got anything else for us?
No, I believe that'd be all. I just like to check in and be able to get back on the air. I've been away for quite a while, so I'll go ahead and say 73 and let you get back to the net, and I guess that's all. This is KE0UPY, clear.
All right, Christopher. Well, it was good to hear you, man, and glad you got your radio straightened out. Appreciate you checking in there, and I hope you have a good rest of the evening and a good rest of the week. We'll say 73's with you, and we'll move on down to WB0OQV, Jim in Marysville. How you doing?
It's WB0QV. I'm doing okay. Just about forgot the net. I remembered it there just a minute ago and thought I better come in, and I figured I caught the tail end of it, but glad to check in, and I missed whoever's on here, but really nothing going on here. So thanks for running the net, and back to you, WB0QV.
Well, yeah, glad you jumped in there, Jim. And, every time I think we're at the end, we seem to grab one or two more there for a little bit. So that's quite all right. I always like to see, 15 or more in there. It's always kind of nice. So glad you jumped in there. I hope the rest of your evening and the rest of your week goes well. We'll say 73. See you, Jim. And we're at the bottom of the list once again. So is there anybody out there that would like to check into the OARS net? Please give us a call.
Kilo Alpha Zero Romeo Mike KH/RM.
All right, Bob, go right ahead.
I figured to bring up the tail end here again. If anybody's wanting to go to breakfast Saturday, this is the last one in Aurora, coming up the 25th, and then we move to Monette. So at Anchorage branch. So let me know. And Sean and I don't want to be the only one there, or even with Harold. We got Harold down there. Let us know so I can get the tables lined up and everything over there. Everybody sounded good. Christopher, good to hear you. I ain't heard you for a long time, dude. Good to know you're still in existence there. So, we'll be raining all day tomorrow, or at least half a day there. Pretty hard, so keep your raincoats on. And that's about all I've got there, Marvin, and Ned OARS. I want to get back to you. KA0RM Aurora.
All right, Bob. Yeah, thanks for checking in there. Glad you brought up the tail end of it there. Maybe we'll grab one or two more out there. But and I will let you know whether we're going to be there or not. I don't know what the wife's got going on. She's our family secretary, I guess you'd say. So, but I'll check with her, and then we'll get with you and let you know. So, Bob, 73. I hope the rest of your evening and week goes well. And that's the bottom of the list once again. Anybody out there like to check into the OARS net, please give us a call.
Recheck.
All right, recheck.
AE0OC. Yeah, I was going to let Bob know that planning on 3 of us being there for breakfast on Saturday. And also, one thing I forgot to announce earlier is we have a POTA presentation lined up for the Hamfest. So that should be interesting. Looking forward to that one. So I'll let you get on. Hopefully you got a few more on or they want to get on tonight.
Roger, Roger. Appreciate the info. And yeah, I'll be sure we get the have the projector and all that ready to go. So, all right. Anybody else want to check into the OARSnet? Please call now. Oh, come on. Surely somebody's sandbagging. One last call for check-ins for the OARSnet. Okay, I guess we'll wrap it up. Pretty good net tonight. We had 20 counting myself from the looks of it. And it was good to hear everybody in there. I'm glad you all dropped in and said hi. Looking forward to all these activities we've got coming up. And if you can make the breakfast, it'd sure be nice to meet you. So appreciate y'all. 73s to everyone. And with that, I'll now return the repeater back to normal traffic. Thanks again, 73.